Alright, welcome. This is my resubmission video to SGDQ 2020. The gaming category is Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes for New Game Plus Normal Stealth No Kills, which basically means I will speedrun all missions of Ground Zeroes on New Game Plus for normal difficulty without being detected and without getting any kills. And the run has changed significantly since the original submission, which initially had an estimate of 50 minutes with a posted time of around like 44 minutes. I now have the run down to 30:39, which is currently the world record held by myself, with an estimate of 38 minutes, which is just given any, generous resets or mistakes that can possibly happen, as well as a few other things I'm going to show off throughout the run. The timer will start as soon as I hit OK, which is going to start in 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, so like I said, the run has evolved a lot since the original submission, and I will try to explain what is going on as we go, since it's going to start off really quick here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sprint immediately, and what we're attempting to do is walk through a very specific line, which is going to be a blind spot between the tower with a spotlight, as well as a guard posted on the fence. And by doing so, it allows us a faster entryway into the base. And we're gonna run through in the middle here since it's wide open. Yo, Shadow Monkey, thank you for the 60-month resub, my dude. Alright, so now you notice that I called the helicopter to this landing zone here, which is indicated in red, which means that it's a hot zone. And the difference between a hot zone and a non-hot zone is that it will allow Morpho to ride faster, since it's assuming the landing zone like it's a sense of urgency versus a landing zone that's not as contested. And by doing this, we're giving Morpho a head start to arrive here as we go to pause. Alright, so we're gonna stick this guard up, because CQC with sticking up guards with their weapon is very interesting. It allows you to get away with things that you wouldn't normally be able to in most other games. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is after we do this misdirect shot, we're gonna shoot this guard while sticking up all the remaining 3. Alright, so we're gonna CQC him just to get him out of the way, because the game will not allow you to open up this door to pause if there's a guard directly in front of it. And as you can see, since we stuck them all up, they're still standing there, despite the shift change. Next, we're gonna throw this grenade, which is gonna basically force these 2 guys to look at it and ignore me. And as I'm climbing these stairs, you can see that I'm aiming my weapon, which is allowing me to bypass the stair climbing animation, just further optimization. And now what we're going to do is this weightless glitch, which involves reloading and sprinting into the door as you open it, which allows you to move at full speed, despite the fact that I'm carrying somebody. And at the same time, as long as I'm in this glitch, I can load prisoners into the helicopter without any animation, which is, again, a lot faster. And as you can see, I'm moving Morpho away from the hot zone so that it does not get shot down while I borrow this tank, which I will now use to move over to Chico's campment. Alright, so Morpho's gonna complain about being damaged, but we don't really care about that, so we're gonna blow this barrel up. And then before Morpho gets too far away, we're gonna call it back with this flare grenade, which all the flare grenade does is that it basically acts as a menu. If you're using your iDroid to navigate the chopper, the flare grenade will just assume the nearest landing zone that the grenade is in, and then, move it to it. Alright, so now what I'm doing is I'm just doing a little bit of prep work before I get to Chico, because during this next shift change, I have to be aware of where guards are before I open his cell. Alright, so here's Chico. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to blow up this barrel for safety, since I did not see one of the guards I was trying to look for. And then as I get him up, you'll notice that I picked him up while standing versus kneeling, and what that allows for is faster optimization. You know, since you can pick prisoners up faster when you're standing versus kneeling while sprinting at the same time, and you can see that I used the weightless glitch once again, which as soon as Morpho lands, Chico is immediately on the helicopter with no animation other than just snake climbing in Morpho itself. And just like that, the mission's over. Yo, what's up, RMC? 60 months, wow, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Yeah, so like I said, the original submission routed Chico first to Paz second, since it's less difficult in terms of, you know, movement, you know, level of risk, and, you know, execution. However, like I said, a speedrunner by the name of Wakiyaku had it routed to Paz to Chico, doing what I just did, minus any, you know, efficiencies and execution. And what he discovered was that, like I said in the beginning, the middle of the base at Guantanamo Bay is wide open, which is very advantageous to, you know, for getting to Paz, since a lot of the guards are by herself, so you take advantage of that. Flare grenades offer great misdirection due to the way guards react to it. And also utilizing hot zones for Morpho, which again allows Morpho to arrive sooner versus arriving at a less contested landing zone. And, you know, we're going to use a lot of those tricks and glitches throughout this run. But, you know, again, shout outs to Wakiyaku for routing that first mission, because I'll tell you, it is very, very difficult, because there's although it's not long in time length, it is probably very difficult in terms of execution, movement, and partially some RNG. So again, shoutouts to Wakiyaku. Plus, again, you know, just making it even more difficult. But yeah, but it's interesting. All right, so now the next mission, now that we're done with the main mission, which is, you know, Ground Zeroes, the prologue to Phantom Pain, now we're going to start what's are the side ops, which are just basically... you know, side missions that you can do for fun. You can unlock things. So our mission here is we're meant to eliminate these two targets. However, since we're on a stealth no-kill category, we can't really kill them. But there's an interesting way to kill the targets without really killing the targets. And that might sound like it makes no sense, but I'll explain how that's going to work. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to tranquilize this guard twice in the back, which is meant to act as a timer for this Jeep to pass by. And then as soon as the Jeep passes by, he's going to pass out without them reacting to it. Because again, you know, guards will react to certain things, and you got to be very diligent about that. Alright, so I'm going to try one more time. Alright, so I'm just going to go for a regular 3-tap. Sometimes headshots can be very picky. Alright, so I'm just gonna trank him 3 times, so... Okay, so I did get spotted, so I'm gonna start that one over. You know, because again, it is very... I can't be very finicky. You know, because ideally for world record pace, you don't want to reset any mission. If avoidable, but the category does allow for checkpoint and restart mission. But like I said, those are usually used as a last resort. Alright, so we're going to try to do this again, preferably without, you know, taking too long to tranquilize those 2 guards. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to sprint up to this cliffside here. We're going to shoot this guard twice in the back, which again is acting as a timer, so that by the time this Jeep is scripted to show up, this guy will pass out as they pass by him, and so you don't have to worry about them stopping. So we're gonna try one more time. Alright, so that's one. And then here's our second guard. Okay. Alright, so there we go. So now what we're gonna do is throw this smoke grenade right at this blade of grass here. And the reason for this is that it's going to cover me as I go to snipe both targets in the limb, preferably the arm. And what this will do is it kind of covers my location, even though guards can hear me shoot the rounds off. And the reason why we're shooting both targets in the arm is that we're trying to wound them, but not kill them outright. And by doing so, it's going to put them in a wounded state, which as I load this checkpoint and come back, and I scope both of their locations, it should register them as eliminated. Now, you might be wondering, well, wait a minute, like, you shot them both in the arm, you used a checkpoint, but now they're gone, like, they're dead, right? Well, here's the thing. You know, since they were both wounded before they actually bled out, the game doesn't really count them as deaths. You know, so it's kind of a free way to get a kill without really getting a kill. And we can see if I did this correctly on the scorecard, which, as you can see, 0 kills and 0 combat alerts. Those are the 2 important variables for this category, because again, it's, you know, perfect stealth, no kills. Yo, what's up, Sphinx? So, that trick was shown to me by One Cool Man XOF, who is another speedrunner for this game. Also a moderator for the speedruns.com leaderboard, which is also the world record holder for the any percent version category of this game. You know, like I said, I'm the world record holder for stealth no kills. And One Cool Man XOF has shown me a lot of useful tricks that were applicable from any percent to stealth no kills, and that checkpoint trick was one of them. So again, shoutouts to One Cool Man XOF. So now the next mission is our first and only auto-scroller, where we're meant to save this secret intel operative whose identity is unknown to us for the time being. So the only thing we know is that he's a very important target, and we got to do everything we can to save him. So again, since it's a no-kill category, our weapon of choice is going to be the Aragon 5, which is a stun hand cannon revolver. You know, it just takes 1 direct hit to take out these guards. And the majority of this level is going to be dictated by Morpho's flight speed. There's not really a whole lot I can do to make it faster other than making, you know, knocking out guards as soon as I can, because Morpho's speed is influenced by guards that are on the screen. Meaning, Morpho will have a tendency to slow down to give you, the player, a chance to neutralize them. So the faster you take them out, the better. And now you notice that I use that barrel to kill that guard, which is treated as an environmental kill, meaning it's another way of killing a guard without penalizing it against you. Which, as long as you blow up the barrel, and the barrel kills the guard, it does not count against you in the final score screen. And the barrel kills are used a lot in this run, particularly this one, as well as the mission following this mission here. Alright, so we're now rendezvousing with our secret operative. And again, the whole idea is to take out these guards as fast as we can. And you can even do this little trick shot here as that guard spawns. You can shoot between this tree and this electric pole here. Shoot the following guard, along with using this barrel to take out this Jeep and its driver. You know, because again, the key to this is taking out not only as many guards as you can, but especially the guards at the beginning, because if you leave any guards in the beginning left over, then what will happen is you'll get reinforcements of guards to deal with before you can actually exit with the operative. So it's imperative to not only take them out for the sake of the speed run, but just for, you know, not having extra guards to deal with later. So it's kind of a double benefit. Alright, so again, we're just taking out, you know, guards as they appear. Including this truck that's scripted to show up here. Along with this tower and this the spotlight tower guard here. Alright, so we're roughly a third of the way through this auto-scroller section. And we're gonna make our way towards the helipad landing zone, which is gonna be like the next checkpoint. Alright, so again, taking out more guards. And then, we're using these barrels so we can kill 2 guards at once, along with taking out this driver with that quick shot there. Because again, the quicker you take them out, the better. Alright, so now this is the next section where our operative's gonna make our way to the middle of the base. So we're gonna try to take out this guard trying to man this turret, which we did. And believe me, that's really hard to do. I on and off get it half the time. Alright, so while our operative's making his way to the middle of the base, we're gonna take out the remainder of these guards if possible. Alright, there should be 2 more. Alright, so we got them all. Now, taking those guards out quickly allows Morpho to advance because it checks to make sure that the guards that are there are neutralized before it allows you to move on. Alright, my aim's a little potatoey today, but not the end of the world. Now, again, we're going to use these barrels ever so conveniently placed here. And this one behind the forklift. Alright. Alright, so now this is, we're now going to disembark Morpho. Because, again, our operative is unconscious and we have to rescue them. So I'm going to try to set up where most, if not all, of these guards are eliminated as soon as I hop out. So we got 1 left. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make our way to our operative while picking up this rocket launcher, which is going to be used as part of this quick kill for this tank that's scripted to show up once you, trigger the checkpoint here. So what we're going to do is as soon as this pulls up, we're going to use all 4 of our grenades. Since the tank is focused on the helicopter, not me, I can get all this damage in for free while finishing off with 1 rocket to the back, which instantly destroys it. Alright, so again, we're going to pick them up while standing because it's the same maneuver used in the first mission when picking up prisoners. Alright, so we got our operative. Gonna throw him in Morpho and then make our way out. Alright, should be 1 more guard. Alright, so now we gotta deal with this helicopter, which in the any percent, you would use this rocket launcher to destroy it. It takes a few hits. However, with the no kills, we gotta be very delicate in how we do this. However, nothing is really said about what to do about these guards with the rocket launchers on the side. So what we're gonna try to do is shoot them out with this Aragon pistol. Now, it may look like he fell to his death, but trust me, he's not dead. He may have landed on a pile of pillows for all I know, but he's not dead. Alright, so now we got 1 more guard to deal with before we can actually clear the level. And once again, he's not dead. And since the mission's now over, we're just gonna destroy this chopper for good measure. Why? Well, just like the guards I shot out, blowing up this chopper like this does not count as a kill. And we gotta let him know who's boss. right? I mean, this is our skies, man. I mean, dude, do not mess with Snake. And who knows? Maybe the pilots jumped out and parachuted. But you know what? There's something very familiar about this guy that we just saved. I mean, I felt like I've seen him somewhere before.
Snake.
Oh, dear Lord. The voice of God himself. Hideo Kojima!
That was perfect.
Alright. We saved Kojima. All is well. Alright, so not really a whole lot to that mission, because 90% of it is auto-scroller. The remaining 10%, give or take, is the moment when you disembark out of Morpho to not only rescue Kojima, but take out the tank as well as the guards leading up to the tank. And you'll notice that as I destroyed the tank, there was nothing left to do afterwards other than board the chopper, which again is made possible due to the fact that I eliminated or neutralized all the guards in the beginning. Because like I said, if you leave any guards at the very start for later, then what will happen is you'll have like a group of like 4 to 6 guards that will show up as soon as the tank is destroyed, which will delay Morpho from landing. So for optimization purposes, it's best to you know, knock them out as they appear. Yo, what's up, Spent Death and Worseners? Alright, so we're on the next mission, which is securing an intel tape. And you notice that we hopped out of the truck immediately, because after all, you know, we're speedrunning here, so we gotta be quick. Alright, so I tried to do this camera trick with this tower guard, which when you zoom the camera down that tower, it basically interrupts the guard spawn, since some of these guards that show up are camera sensitive, meaning when your camera looks in a certain direction or is within a certain distance, it allows a guard to react or appear. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to set up our escape by taking out these 2 guards. And then in the meanwhile, we threw the flare grenade in the middle of the base, since the landing zone that the grenade is selected to is the fastest one, since it's directly in the middle of the base. And as we're backing up, we're going to use this barrel to kill that guard, so we don't have to worry about him when we're climbing this ladder, because it is a risk for him to look and see you there. Alright, so you can see Morpho's coming in. Now, there's this camera that's normally an issue, but if you throw a well-placed smoke, you don't have to adjust the camera at all, since the smoke obscures the camera itself. You can pick up this cassette tape while also throwing this flare grenade to move Morpho closer to this part of the base. And the reason why we're using Morpho here is not really to escape, but to act as a decoy, so I can escape using this Jeep. And what I'm doing here is I'm throwing this smoke inside the Jeep, or rather I'm trying to. Alright, so what that's gonna do is it's gonna put me in a glitch state where guards that look at me from a distance will not be able to detect me, as long as not too close to them. And this is a trick that's commonly used in MGS5, the Phantom Pain. Alright, so I did get unlucky there with the escape. Sometimes the guard RNG is not favorable for when you're trying to get out. So what I'm going to try to do is escape using the same glitch again, but using the checkpoint back here. Okay, so I got unlucky with that one too. So I'm gonna try one more time. Alright, so this should put me at the edge of the base. Alright, so I'm gonna try to evacuate on foot. Because like I said, unfortunately with these two guys here, it's going to make the smoke glitch next to impossible, since it's going to put me in their direct line of sight.
Continue out of the mission area to complete the mission.
And then I'm just going to use that barrel to my advantage. Alright, so a little bit unfortunate, but like I said, it's sometimes you are fighting bad RNG. Because ideally what you want to do is have Morpho kind of act as your decoy, the guards focus their attention to it, and then you ride out on the Jeep with the smoke glitch, since from a distance it does cover you. However, if you're in the guard's direct line of sight, very close to the Jeep, even with the smoke, the glitch will not work. So, like I said, sometimes you have to be adaptive to how things happen, especially with that mission, because, you know, guards' behavior is not always as consistent. You know, their movement and spawns are consistent, they follow a script, but sometimes when they react to explosions, Morpho coming in, their movement and tactics is not always predictable. But anyway, so we're on the next mission where we're meant to destroy these 3 anti-air turrets. So we're gonna call Morpho in the middle of the base, because again, it's the fastest landing zone. And we're shooting that landing zone pad there, so we're gonna make that guard evacuate faster, while using this rocket launcher that's available at the start, only permissible by New Game Plus. So as we destroy the first turret, we're shooting that truck, which is meant to act as a slow detonator for this next turret, because we're using this truck to blow up a barrel, which is also next to this turret, which, if done correctly, so you can see that the turret is blown up and we got all 3. So now we gotta destroy this tank that's scripted to show up here. So what we're gonna do is use our C4 here. We're gonna plant 3 of them, which is the minimum required to destroy it. And then as Morpho is arriving, we're gonna use our flare grenade to redirect him to the closest landing zone, which is by this cliffside here. Alright, so tank is destroyed. I think we're good to go. I almost got spotted there. Alright, so just like that, hop on Morpho and you're out. Alright, so nothing too specific with this one, just destroy all 3 AA turrets as fast as possible. Use the middle landing zone, since that's the fastest landing zone you can select for Morpho to show up the quickest. And then using C3 to destroy the tank, you know, versus using multiple rocket launcher rounds. Alright, so if I did this correctly.
That was incredible, boss. I don't know how you stay so steady when everything...
Alright, so like I said, nothing too crazy with that one. So that kind of concludes the side ops, if you would, since like I said, they're side missions. Now we're going to be doing what's commonly referred to like as the DLC missions, which were added later after the game was released, which the first one we're going to do is entitled Deja Vu. And we're going to do something a little bit special with this mission, since this mission references aspects of Metal Gear Solid 1, which we're also going to be using the Solid Snake character skin, just kind of, you know, make it a little bit more exciting. And as it starts, this also kind of gives like a very familiar, you know, nostalgia feel. I mean, you got Solid Snake crawling in, it's snowing, it's nighttime, he's in a sneaking suit. But I feel like there's one other thing that's really familiar. The original menu-styled theme and soundtrack.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Yeah, you did! But man, that is awesome. Alright, so we're meant to recreate scenes, which again are based on Metal Gear Solid 1. However, for the speedrun, we're only going to do 1 out of these 6 available. So the one we're going to do is recreating the scene with these 2 spotlights, and I already have a restart, so that's unfortunate. The movement to run past that guard is very specific. So we're gonna try this again. So the one we're gonna recreate is the 2 spotlights and the smoke grenade, which is referencing the helipad section of Shadow Moses, with the chaff grenade in between 2 spotlights. Alright, so what we want to try to do is ride along this rail here. It's while sprinting, and doing so allows you to run past that guard at full speed without worrying about being detected, and it is very precise. The slightest misstep will allow you to be detected. Alright, so there's our smoke grenade in between the 2 spotlights, so as these move away, we're gonna pick these up, skip the cutscene. So now we're gonna use this smoke grenade for our escape. It's not just for show. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna escape to this vent, but the first thing I'm gonna do is throw this smoke ever so carefully right here, which is gonna make this guard react and move to the right. You know, which pretty much gets him out of our way. He ignores us, just running at full speed while running through this vent, and just like that, mission's complete.
Are you feeling okay?
You know, again, nothing too fancy, just, you know, maneuvering around a guard, you know, via a very specific path, picking up the smoke between the spotlights while using that same smoke to aid in your escape. So now we're on the final mission of the run, and also the second of 2 DLC missions, which now we kind of let Snake and Solid Snake kind of take a break, since, you know, Snake's been kind of running all 4 missions, and Solid Snake's like, hey, you know what, I need a break too. Alright, so we're gonna let Raiden take over in the final mission known as Jamevu, which is a mission referenced after Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance, where we're now gonna control Raiden, which, why Raiden is in this particular universe is, well, it is Kojima, and he does interesting twists, this being one of them, so we're basically playing as Raiden from Revengeance, but with a gun, you know, minus the sword. So what we're meant to do is eliminate Snatchers, which are disguised as Marines amongst other Marines. Now, you could identify them with your scope to differentiate which one is a Snatcher and which ones are human. But since I've memorized where they all are, I won't have to do that.
He's not a Snatcher, but still, there's something not quite right about it.
Alright, so again, as we get up to this area, we're going to use this barrel that we've been using all run, which is going to take out all 3 at once, which included 2 Snatchers and a Marine. But like I said, when you use the barrel, even if a regular human gets killed from it, it does not count as a kill against you. It's an environmental kill. Alright, so we're going to grenade that Snatcher, along with shooting this Snatcher with this camera. Now, the last 2 are going to spawn in on a Jeep on this left side here. So we're going to get in position to try to snipe the passenger, which is the Snatcher.
So your suppressor is worn out. That gun won't be as loud as any other now.
Alright, so we took out all the guards we need to. So now we're halfway done with this mission.
Kojima Productions. What does that mean? There's
Oh.
got to be a reason that's there.
Oh, don't worry, Kaz. There's a reason. And I will show later. But in the meantime, Morpho is being called in, and we're trying to prep for what I call is the Snatcher guard rush, where you're going to be finding waves and waves of Snatchers along with a helicopter in between. So as we trigger the event, we're going to position ourselves in this guard tower at the very top, which offers a very good vantage point for what's about to happen. So we're gonna take out this guard up here first. And since we're dealing with snatchers, we don't have to worry about kills or no kills anymore. Alright, so we're gonna blow that Guru up by the door, and as soon as that door opens, the C4 that I planted is gonna kill them immediately since they spawn there. Along with this shot, since again these guys are scripted to show up there as you take out each wave. Followed by 2 rocket launcher shots to this helicopter here. And then once again, we're going to target the door, since each wave spawns there. Alright, so unfortunately I did miss a few. Alright, so I'm gonna try to snipe them out. Can't really seem to get him. Alright, so there he was.
Eliminate the reinforcements. Kojima Productions.
Alright, so we got 1 group left over. Come on now. Alright, there we go.
Targets eliminated. That's my boy. Get on the chopper.
Alright, so we do our little victory lap. And that concludes the run. So, like I said, the main thing here is just to take out the Snatcher Guard Rush as efficiently as possible. However, I did miss a few key shots, which I had to deal with some Snatchers that scattered throughout the base there, but not a big deal since, like I said, I do account for mistakes such as that in this run with an estimated 38 minutes. With this run, which is about to finish at around like 37:15-ish. Actually, maybe 37:10, but I just want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the run. Like I said, this is a category that I enjoy running. Because like I said, up to this point, any % was really the sought-after category until I started running stealth no kills, and then we get a few other runners involved to improve the run itself, which includes Wakiyaku and 1 Coolman XOF. That I want to shout out to each of them. And in addition, I want to thank you, the viewer, as well as the reviewer for watching this run, and I hope you will take this into consideration for SGDQ 2020, expected in August, which I hope for everybody's sake that it can happen. But anyways, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and enjoy the rest of your day.